much for accepting to do this interview with me, Miss Gaspard. And if you don't mind, I will call you Debbie for the purpose of this interview.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. So we'll go straight to the questions. For the state of the for the sake of this interview, do you mind saying your name, your complete name, your title, and the position at MCC?
Yes, my name is Deborah Gaspard. I often go by Deb or Debbie. I am a full-time instructor and in the business division at Metropolitan Community College, where another role I have is that of program director of the marketing and entrepreneurship programs.
Thank you so much for that introduction. We would like to learn a little bit about you and your background, and then we'll come back to the business division when it comes to MCC Metro Community College. So tell me a little bit about your background, your educational background, and your work experience, as well as the length of time that you've been with MCC.
Well, I am fairly new to MCC. I've been with MCC for 2 years, even though I've been teaching for 20 years throughout Nebraska. I've taught at a lot of public and private institutions, some with international students. I've taught students from not just Nebraska, but all over the world. I think my last count, I was up to 70 or so countries of all the students who I've come in contact with over the past 20 years. I am not a native Nebraskan. I moved to Nebraska from New Orleans. And most people find it interesting that I actually chose to move to Nebraska twice for professional reasons. I grew up in New Orleans, where I actually attended school. I got my bachelor's and my MBA from Tulane University in New Orleans. But Nebraska is a unique place. There's lots of professional opportunities. The first time I lived in Nebraska was in the late 80s and early 90s, and I worked at Mutual of Omaha. And the majority of my work experience was in marketing and public affairs. So I moved back to New Orleans at the beginning of the 90s, where I completed my bachelor's and MBA degrees. And so when I finished, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay or move out of the state. Interesting, there were opportunities, but honestly, following 9/11, it seemed like Nebraska was a safe place to be. My 3 children were really young at the time, so I moved to Nebraska really on a leap of faith. I did not have a specific job lined up, but Nebraska being Nebraska and full of opportunities, I had 5 jobs my first year back in Nebraska and decided that I really liked the environment of educational institutions. For a while, when I lived in New Orleans and was attending school at Tulane, I actually worked at Tulane University. So although I've been teaching for 20 years, I've been working in higher ed for 30 years. So now I live here in Lincoln with my 3 sons. I have 5 grandchildren, and my mother also lives in Lincoln now. She was in New Orleans and lost most of her possessions with Hurricane Katrina. So it seemed like Nebraska life she was ready for life in Nebraska, at her age, just a slower pace. So we're a big, happy family, but we still have ties back home in New Orleans.
Thank you so much for telling us about your background. It's very interesting that you say everything that you said about Nebraska. I don't know if you noticed, Nebraska just started a new campaign, The Good Life is Calling. For anyone who is interested in learning more about Nebraska, why come to Nebraska and why live in Nebraska, you can always go to thegoodlifeiscalling.com or .gov, if I'm not mistaken, .gov, to learn more about why come to Nebraska, work in Nebraska, and live in Nebraska, and about the opportunities that we have in Nebraska. Talking about the opportunities that we have in Nebraska, I know Metro Community College has a business division. Can you please tell us a little bit about the business division and when it started and the program?
So I started at Metro in 2008, and Metro is the most diverse educational institution in the state. Because of our location in the southeast corner near the Iowa border, there is a lot of different people and cultures and industries that Metro serves. And I think Metro does an excellent job striving to provide relevant educational and professional training for our business community. So the business division at Metro is pretty large. If we count all of our enrollments, which includes high school dual enrollment, special programs, we are close to around 10,000 students. That's a lot. This is not all full-time students, but people taking courses. So there's a variety of skills people are seeking in addition to degrees. We also have concurrent enrollment with the four-year institutions. Students at four-year colleges find it really convenient to take a class or two at Metro and have them transfer back to their institution. As far as business programs, we have the traditional courses, accounting, management, marketing. But this year we launched several new career certificates. So now we have career certificates in things like accounting. We launched a new customer service certificate. We have real estate. We have, financial services. We have one of the strongest financial services curriculum in the state, I believe. It's pretty impressive. We have a great dean who believes in putting constantly refreshing and improving the curriculum. So we believe that what we offer is really strong and relevant. Our entrepreneurship program is also under the business division, and we have a lot of aspiring business owners come through the program, not necessarily always seeking a degree, but perhaps building skills they need to run or establish their small businesses.
That's very interesting and important that you mentioned about not necessarily pursuing that degree, but seeking the skills. As a business advisor and business consultant myself, I meet with a lot of clients with business ideas, great ideas, amazing ideas, but they don't necessarily have the skills to start the business, and they don't know how to go about, bringing that idea into a viable business. And we help them from start to finish, helping them find a name, writing their business plans, and helping also with these skills that you're talking about. But it always makes a difference if you can go to a place like MCC and learn about those skills and then come talk to a business coach that will help you apply those skills to your business.
Absolutely. Sometimes people eventually they realize I'm missing a certain skill set and they become discouraged. So having a place to just go to, I need help on this so I can continue moving forward. I think that's really critical. And we don't want those services or information to be cost prohibitive. We want people to come and ask, what do I need to do next? I've gone this far, I'm at a crossroads, or I'm indecisive, or I don't know how the money, the flow of money is going to work with this. Do I hire people? Can I do it all myself? So yeah, there's so many, milestones within that journey for entrepreneurs. So as much as we can offer to keep them moving forward, we're happy to do so.
That's amazing. So anyone that is watching this or anyone that is going to watch this, we will put down the contact information of MCC when it comes to the business division. That way you can get a hold of them. My next question is going to be about What resources are available to develop and advance minority entrepreneurship?
That is a space where we're seeing a lot of energy and emphasis these days. Metro, as an institution, we have a place where we can provide curriculum, but we don't necessarily have a space for people to come and test their business ideas out. So it really needs to be a collaborative effort of Metro and other entities around town. Particularly, there's an amazing opportunity right now to connect with the North Omaha community. As an institution, Metro has campuses throughout Southeast Nebraska. So the Fort Omaha campus is probably the largest and the most diverse. We have classes on the South Campus, but having that space where people can connect and find resources, we are constantly working on developing our network and our relationships with service providers. Even things like the Midlands African Chamber, it's an excellent resource, even as a place to just simply ask a question and point someone in another direction. Those are the things that we're constantly working on. But it's a challenge because, our function as an educational institution is to provide education through an approved curriculum. So as flexible as we'd like to be, we know that we miss opportunities. Someone may want the information right now, like Tuesday afternoon by 3 p.m. So it's often a challenge to have that information available and that person right there that can answer that question. So the more we continue building our partnerships and our relationships throughout the greater Omaha area, I think the better we are able to serve the population, not just people seeking a degree or taking a course.
That's very important. And I've, I've been hearing a lot of people say that 2021, 2020 is 2021 is the year of collaboration, and coming together with other entities can only help those that are seeking the knowledge and help when it comes to entrepreneurship. Other, go ahead, please.
No, I was going to say yes, absolutely. And we don't need to wait for a specific event or an invite. Just keeping those doors open and finding ways to make that communication easier is what we're working towards.
Absolutely. So, are there any success stories that you can share about minority businesses that you or MCC work with?
Well, we have a lot of businesses that are in various stages of their development. Even some of our high school students that know they want to go into the family business, we see stories like that. But, one of the greatest successes in Omaha, not just because of the MCC curriculum, is North End Teleservice. And I want to, take this opportunity to really point out the success that Carmen Tapio has had, not just because she is the largest Black business in Nebraska and she's hugely successful, but as an entrepreneur, she is reinvesting in her workforce. So one of the things we're really proud of at Metro in terms of how we were able to develop our curriculum, North End Teleservice wanted some curriculum that helped instill or improve customer service within their employees. So after discussing, what they wanted, what we had to offer, and finding the gaps, we actually created with North End Teleservice a program specifically designed to educate North End employees. And what makes this really impressive is the company is investing in the tuition and educational material for the students. So these students, who are also full-time employees of North End Teleservice, are able to come to Metro and pursue a career certificate in we're calling it the Customer Experience Academy. And it's really an example of, we mentioned the limits of being an educational institution and the parameters that define how we operate, but also that willingness to step outside of our own boxes and cater directly to the business community. And that's what we're doing for North End Teleservice. Our first cohort just started this fall term. We were able to develop new courses, including, customer service, consumer behavior, organizational behavior, things that we didn't have in our curriculum to really address the needs of this company. And there are a couple more employers out there who are seeing the value in investing in their employees, and we hope to create more of these types of collaborations in the future.
I did not know that about MCC. I did not know about all these programs and catering to the business world out in Omaha, especially North Omaha, and for a corporation such as North End Teleservices. That's amazing.
And it just started. It's new, but we're excited that we didn't have the constraints to say, well, no, you can only take what we have to offer. Metro is the type of environment that says, no, you are our client. We want to provide what you want. And I just feel, I'm excited. I feel privileged to be at a place that is so responsive, that doesn't have those limitations. But yes, the North End Teleservice story is really impressive.
Yes. And I personally experienced MCC when it comes to entrepreneurship, especially youth entrepreneurship. My son, who was 15 last year, and now he's 16, he was in the Step Up program.
Yes.
And I know with the collaboration with MCC, he went through some of those focuses on entrepreneurship. He was in the tech field, and it's amazing the things that he learned. And what was even more impressive to me was every day they were getting lunch, and that came from the kitchen of
Mhm.
and it was impressive the amount of resources that you guys have available for anyone that is seeking that knowledge and skills to be able to learn and get that degree and come up, fully prepared to take on the business. It's amazing. And even the youth.
Mhm. Yes, you are so right. It's easy if you're driving past, one of those busy streets on a major thoroughfare, Sorensen or 30th Street, and you're zooming past Metro. And if you don't take the time to actually go into the campus to see how much space there is, how many programs, how open it is to the community, you really miss out on what a wonderful resource Metro is for the Omaha community.
Absolutely. My next question will be, what is the future direction for your department, and how does that include minority entrepreneurship?
As I was stating previously, many people don't realize how much is actually happening at Metro. And to the point where we can invite more people into our communities. We're not there because of, safety reasons at the time. But one of the things you will experience when you set foot on a Metro campus is that representation and respect for culture is really unlike any other institution in Nebraska. You see yourself on campus, you see yourself in the classroom. And when I say yourself, that's all groups. Metro has a wonderful representation of all culture and gender identities. So prior to DEI becoming, I don't want to say a trend, but we started seeing more of that after the death of George Floyd. At Metro, that was always the norm. Inclusion, representation, opportunities. One thing we are purposefully doing right now is taking steps to deliver culturally inclusive curriculum in all of our programs. And until you really step back and look at what your curriculums have and what they don't have, you see the opportunities to say, well, this needs to be more catered to this particular group, or this is the group that typically takes classes on this campus. These are the needs of our students beyond what's offered in a textbook. So Metro has a lot of cultural inclusion in our activities, in our programming. Metro celebrates more cultural holidays than I've ever seen at any other place that I've worked with. And I think they realize that it is a priority, not just among the students, but if you look at Metro's organizational charts or its boards and its governance, there's representation throughout of a really rich, diverse community that Metro serves within the Omaha area. We don't just have people of color present, they're in leadership and decision-making roles. We have faculty who represent the communities that we serve. So I personally find that really impressive. It's deliberate. It's not trending with DEI. It's just what Metro is all about. Anyone can come to Metro and feel welcome and like they are a part of the team.
Wow. I think I'm going to take classes at Metro.
I think you should.
Yes, I did back in 2008. I took some real estate classes, and I'm going to come back for photography.
Oh, yeah.
So graphic design.
And as you mentioned that, one of the things we saw during the pandemic is people, whether it was for wellness, I don't really like the term mental health. I don't think that's what it is, but people needed a release. So they started turning their hobbies they started paying more attention to their hobbies and crafting. And we're seeing things like maker spaces and communities and, encouraging people to express themselves creatively, whether that's through cooking or photography or some type of design or even technology. And even within those spaces, people are finding that there's opportunities for side hustles to make money off of the things that they enjoy doing as a hobby. So I definitely encourage that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely look into that. Do you have anything else that you would like us to talk about, or you would like the people to know about when it comes to MCC and the business division?
I would say if you have any questions, ask. We try to be transparent, but so much of how Metro operated was based on this face-to-face service mentality. And we don't have that as much as we used to. But still, please, all of our faculty members' information is on our website. I think we're getting a little better at being present on social media like LinkedIn and Facebook. Not so much, but if there's something you can't find, don't be discouraged. Please just reach out to anyone and you will get pointed in the right direction. We are really open. Metro is really welcoming. So I encourage anybody to just approach us. Let us know what you need. Let us know what you are in search of, whether it's contact with the community resource or a program. Metro also serves, a lot of people don't realize how many populations Metro serves. So within my first year working at Metro, I taught high school students at the Sarpy Center. I taught Avenue Scholars. I taught in our re-entry program. I even taught courses, non-credit courses, like on site for our workforce development entity. There's so much that Metro has to offer, and if it's not free, it's definitely affordable. Oh, another thing, we are working on a new space on our Ford campus in Building 10, and I do believe that will have space for community meetings. So stay tuned, keep in touch. It'll be interesting to see how we can get back to this great sense of normalcy where people were present on Metro's campus that weren't necessarily taking courses.
And the website will be
www.mccneb.e. Well, let me make sure before I say the wrong thing. Because there are actually a few metropolitan community colleges in the country, and I have ended up on the wrong site more than once. So it's www.mccneb.edu. In addition to our programs of study, check out our job list and check out all of the resources available for students, including scholarships.
And anyone that is watching right now, that's another reason why you should be in Nebraska. MCC has a lot of opportunities for anyone, any culture. They're very welcoming. And you just heard about the business division and the resources that they have available to offer aspiring entrepreneurs.
Yes. Even transfer students from other colleges. Metro has a great transfer portal. I'm not sure who's going to see that ad campaign about considering Nebraska, as the good life, but anyone of any age, my 87-year-old mother is enjoying life in Nebraska right now. So please give us a chance. Come check us out.
I'm enjoying as an African immigrant. Definitely not because of the cold. Or the snow, but obviously because of the many opportunities out here for anyone, and really anyone, youth, black, white, just anyone, and especially with MCC. Thank you so much for being on this platform with us and interviewing with us. We really enjoyed it. We appreciate it. And thank you for all the information and the resources that you guys have available for anyone who is ready to take it.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.